What's up, HotMakers? Welcome to HotMakes on the Edge of Tech, where we aim to educate and entertain the maker community. I'm Nerdy J, and I'm here with the floating head of the pooch in the corner.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
What's up, everybody?
That's how you were part of the background the whole time.
That's it. It fooled you. It was like camouflage. Blended right in with the background.
I love it. Someone
Happy
says
Monday to you, my friend.
Yes, happy Monday. How you been for the last week?
I've been good, man. We've been making a lot of progress here at the new shop. And,
Sweet.
Every day getting a little bit better. How about you? What's family life been like?
Whoa. Your microphone just went whoosh.
Was it super hot? Sorry.
It was super hot.
Okay. Is it okay now?
You're good. You're good now. That was awesome. It's good though. Here we're relaxed. It's storming outside, so we're gonna pray for. Yeah, like it's raining and it was super humid all day, and then it started being crazy and raining and all that. So I'm hoping for the best on the stream here. Hopefully it doesn't take us out. But if it takes me out, I guess you'll still be there, so you could just entertain.
We will march on. We will carry on in your honor, in your name.
I love it. Oh man.
I think the problem was my gator, my highly fashionable gator. I don't know if you. It's getting to be mandatory here in Cali in a lot of places that you can't even go in to stores if you don't have a mask on. And I hate that I'll forget or I'll leave one in the car. And so literally I've just been wearing one of these all the time. So I can just pull it up. But I'll tell you what, it's too hard. It's too hot for scarf weather, my friend.
It is.
So,
it is.
It's like what's the alternative though? I guess I'd rather have one on me and not have to not be able to go into the store. So small price to pay.
Right. Well, it's funny that you say that because I wore my special shirt today. It's, because of the pandemic and everything. Let's see if I can. It says
pandemic going on. I didn't know.
What
are you talking about?
It says the Stay at Home Festival 2020.
Who's in the festival?
There's a lot of good ones. No Kids on the Block.
No Kids on the Block.
Yeah.
Okay.
The couch test dummies.
Does that say a cough spring?
Yeah, the cough spring is on there. Yep. There's No Cure. There's on there.
No Cure. Oh,
yep. Miley virus. Yep. Men out of work.
Men out of work. Did Brian Vines make that shirt? It sounds like
good one.
It sounds like
it's a Woot shirt. If you go to Woot right now, I'm pretty sure they're still out there. It just look for the pandemic tour shirt or something like that. I think it's called pandemic tour shirt, but it was on Woot and I had to have it. I was like,
you're just keeping Woot in business these days.
I am. And my wife is like, you should not be on here anymore. Because I keep last night I was showing her stuff and it was bad. I'm gonna have 30 new shirts and nowhere to put them.
It's always good to have. I love silly shirts, dude. It's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Especially for these streams. I love them for that and for just running around. I can't wear them to work, but that's okay.
That's why it makes you feel special to be at home, comfortable in your fine casual wear.
That's right. So last week, Amy Double D was on. Phenomenal guest.
Such a good show. Always great to talk to Amy.
We had a lot of great feedback. A lot of people like that show, and we're going to keep doing those coming forward. And I was going to ask you, did you see, I think she tweeted, was it yesterday or today, about another Tesla project she's working on?
No, I didn't see that. She just tweeted that yesterday? I
think so. I think it was time to get a Lego something to work with her Tesla.
Oh, wow.
I'll have to look again. I should have pulled it up, bro.
I've been remiss. I thought I was hitting the Twitter hard the last couple of days, but apparently, see, that's why it's good that we do shows like this, where it's there's still stuff that just slips through.
Right. Someone just said after Amy, it's all downhill. Bad. I mean,
we might surprise with some other all stars. You never know.
You never know. That's right. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been a great week and just hanging a lot of baby stuff. I'm getting last what was it, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I finally had time to go work on the yard, so that was cool.
Right.
All the good stuff, I'm looking at lasers. I just totally turned I like squirreled there for a second.
Yeah.
But I've been working with from Joe from Makers on Tap, right?
Yeah.
And just talking, bouncing ideas, and I'm looking at getting an introductory level laser. So something like Garrett was using,
right?
Maybe a little better. I don't know. So if anyone out there
like a diode laser, like one of those little kits that you saw.
I'm thinking so. I mean, I'm thinking so. But you never know. We could do K40 and just upgrade it with all the stuffs, right?
Yeah.
But if anyone out there has some ideas, shoot them in the chat or I don't know, tweet them at us, Facebook, whatever you got to do. But I'm just curious what you guys think. Diode lasers are too weak. Yes. Well, for me, I want to make stuff like Garrett was doing. That just intrigued me greatly. And I don't know if I'm going to necessarily like it or not. I'm sure I will, right? Because look at all these printers. But to convince my wife that we need one, I have to start somewhere, right?
Here's what I recommend for you, my friend. I think you need to work a budget and that's what you convince her for. That way you don't have to get approval on every specific thing, but you say, look, here's my discretionary fund or my business fund, because I'm doing research, in the name of promoting my business here, my brand, and therefore we should allocate this kind of budget for it, right?
I kind of have that. So the channel pays for itself, right? So anything I get from ads or Patreon or you guys hitting the donate button here, right? All goes back into stuff for the channel. And it's just a matter of, what am I doing lately? I'm working on the shops. That's where stuff has been going to most recently. But then I look at the laser prices for some of the bigger ones, and I'm like, oh, it'll take me a little bit to get there with the channel money.
Well, Mitch Printer has a good point. I mean, what is your current allowance? Like, what kind of allowance does she give you?
About $6.
$6?
Yeah.
Oh, weekly? I got a trash out.
I got a laser pointer, and about 3 hours into it, I realized it wasn't going to work. I couldn't hold it still that long. So, no, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. So, $500.
Okay, sure.
I mean, I know I can get
start with that. Sure.
I love how Jim's hair is blowing in the. I just turned this fan on. I realized I'm like, why is it getting so hot? Oh, because I turned off the oscillating on the fan and it was blowing ahead of me over here. So I fixed it, but now my hair is like.
We're going for dramatic effect here.
Yeah.
The fog machine rolls in.
I had them. No, we'll have to talk about that. I had the fog machines hooked up behind me. It set all my fire alarms off, and I got in trouble.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, well, that's the last thing you want when you have sleeping baby.
With the baby, yeah, it was awesome though. It was awesome. Then I opened the garage doors. It started pouring out. Neighbors probably thought I was on fire. Anyway,
you have some awesome music going while the smoke's coming out. Like, what is happening in there?
Right. So earlier on, I'm just checking something real quick here. Nope. Okay, good. Just making sure. I was waiting for a response here. So earlier on, it is blowing, isn't it? Jeez, Christmas. Hang on. Let me turn this thing down. There we go.
It's got a remote.
Yeah. Well, I stole it from inside. They don't need it in there. They got air conditioning.
Mad Monkey says my hair is on point. Thank you, Mad Monkey. I appreciate that.
His hair is always on point.
It's a long process getting it properly coiffed. Actually, I could probably use a little trim. It's getting a little shaggy. Hook up those clippers, get on the back of my neck, But that's the way it goes sometimes.
David Shory's in the house.
Hey.
So we're gonna have a new segment called Pooch's Hair Tips or something. Remember last week? We decided that.
Yeah. The Pooch's Sexier You tips of the day.
Right.
Hair, whatever.
K40. Everybody's pushing me to get a K40.
Well, they need some work out of the box.
I see that. Yeah.
Controller upgrades.
They need that board from Ray, right? What is it, Cohesion or something?
Yep. But it's not a bad place to start. That's where a lot of people start.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna start with a dialogue, so I mean,
it just depends on what you're looking to do. I mean, if you're wanting to do any cutting, really, you're gonna need like anything thicker than paper. You're gonna need to go to release the CO2, small, 40 watt CO2. But different animal.
Right. So something else that happened this week. I don't know if you guys all saw this, but Joel had a pretty good failure. The 3D printing nerd, for you guys keeping track out there, had a pretty good failure. He dropped it on Twitter, and he said, "Hey, this happens to everybody, right?" And it was pretty awesome. Matter of fact,
the old entombed hot end, right?
Yeah,
complete meltdown.
It looked like this. What it looked like.
Yep.
And
oh man, you hate to see it, but it's part of the process.
Right, it happens. I mean, what are you going to do? It sucks when it happens.
It's all around the sock and everything. See, that's terrible when you see it, because the silicone sock is supposed to be cheap insurance against that. A lot of times it will, but it doesn't always stop it.
You mean you can't just peel that sock off and it comes off with it?
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it.
Nice. So Zolan, he's in the chat here, and he actually already said it. He said he tags this as HotMakes, right? He says, "Hate to do this, but I have to tag this as HotMakes somewhere down here, right here, right?"
Yeah.
And so I responded, and I said, "Hey, I don't even know where my response is," because he got so many responses on this.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But I responded, and I said, "How about we make a new right here?"
Yeah.
I said, "Repcord, how about we make a new hot mess segment for failures?"
I like it. Yep.
Genius, right?
Yeah.
And you said, "I can dig it." so that's what this is. Let's start a brand new segment.
I like it. Hot mess.
Call it Hot Mess. I'm working on graphics. Actually, Robbie Mack is working on graphics as we speak. I chatted him earlier today.
Yeah.
We're gonna rock it. So we'll have a little fun with it. We're going to go through a few today, and I think what we'll do is we'll use HotMakes still, because HotMakes is a hashtag that only of us use. What's going on here?
I was doing your torso this time.
Oh, I see. Do it. Now I got you. Phenomenal.
Yeah, it's just a never-ending fun. I like it, dude. I think it's great. I think it happens to the best of us. We've seen some epic. There goes the torso. Some epic meltdowns, whether it's the completely entombed hot end or the spaghetti monster or any of the other number of strikes out there.
I'm dying here. You're just me with a pooch head. with a tiny little pooch head.
Loading.
It's all Amy's fault. I would have never seen that if Amy didn't point that out last week. But yeah, we it all happens to us. I think we'll have fun with it. So if you guys see an epic fail or you have an epic fail, chat us, tag us on Twitter or whatever, and say hashtag HotMakes and put hot mess in there if you want, so we know what we're looking at.
Right, but not just hot mess, right? Because that's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
so
don't
makes, so we still see it.
Hashtag HotMakes and then type hot mess. Don't tag hot mess. I don't want a part of that. I looked that up today, and there's some hot. It is a hot mess. We'll just call it that. It's a hot mess. So we won't do that. We're gonna tag HotMakes, hashtag HotMakes, and then just type hot mess if you want to. But if you guys see an epic fail, you have an epic fail you want us to show, like this one, let me know. So we have a couple. Let's go through them. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, and honestly, you guys, this is the fail is the journey, is the process, right? So it's like, it's so frustrating. I could rant about all the different colossal fails that I've had over the years that have destroyed, a new thermistor, a new, heater cartridge or whatever. It's just annoying. It's not super expensive oftentimes. Sometimes you have to get a whole, it's easier to get a whole new hot block or something, but it happens, and it's how you learn, and hopefully, it gets you thinking about how you're laying out your prints and what you're doing and what to do better the next time, right? Right.
I agree. And what's funny is last night I should have taken a picture. I'm testing a new printer, and I was 5 hours into a 7-hour print, so it was almost done.
Okay.
And I'm on the print screen of the printer, and I want to see how much time is left. So I hit the back button, to go back to the main screen where it tells you, total time, how much time's left. As soon as I did that, printer grinded and the layer shifted.
Of course.
Like, what the heck?
Without fail without it.
Yeah, I mean, so that stuff happens, and I have to start over, and I can't hang my Ryobi drill on the wall today because my print didn't finish, But,
That's right.
but
I'm sure you're right back on that horse, though, aren't you?
That's right. What are you going to do?
Like Mad Monkey says, if you're not failing, you're not printing, right?
There you go. Let me get 3/4 of my palette plus prints.
Yeah, the more variables you add to the mix, the more likely you're to fail. So
yes, that's a good one. Jesse Farman, failure is stupidity leaving the brain, like pain was weakness leaving the body.
That's a good one.
Nice, I like that. But yeah, so we got a couple. I asked people to tag us today, and 3D Maker Kid jumped in, and he says, "Hey, this happened a few weeks ago." I don't know what's wire and what's filament at this point. I mean,
yeah, right.
It's pretty. That's a pretty good one, though. Let's see. What else do we got?
That is the spaghetti monster, the dreaded spaghetti monster.
Yeah, this one goes back. This one goes back a bit, but major print jam figured out the way to unclog the jam, but ended up shorting the fuse. Well, look at that one.
Yeah.
That kind of looks like an animal here. Like, here's an antenna.
Yeah. I mean, should we talk about technique for resolving these things?
Yeah,
it takes different. Because I had recently when we were doing all the PPE and stuff, we were let use of some Ultimaker S5s, or some very, very expensive, expensive printer, right? And so even those aren't immune from that. And actually posted a pretty terrible meltdown, and that one required some disassembly and some work. But like on a lot of these, I've had some success with just cranking the heat all the way up, letting it get kind of soft, and then just very slowly working it off. Now, a lot of times you're probably gonna lose a thermistor, or you're probably gonna lose the heater cartridge. But I always recommend having extras of those on hand anyway, because at some point those will fail on you. So it's not a terrible idea to have that, because getting that thing off of there and not breaking those little fine wires is a really, really challenging thing to do. Other thing, obviously, having a heat gun is really important. If you don't have a heat gun, like maybe a hair dryer, if you can get the heat focused enough.
And if it's like say it's an Ender 3. This happens. Heat that bad boy up if you're using PLA to like 230, 240, and a lot of this will drip off. And it depends how bad it's embedded up in the top there. But because PLA is so, it gets so soft, if this is PLA, a lot of that will drip off. Just hope that it's not embedded, like you said, in thermistor wires and the fan and everything else, because then you're talking heat guns and just start over.
No. Right, and give it some time, like you said too. But part of the challenge is when you have a large thermal mass like encased around there too, like it almost like insulates some of the outer, like to get that heat to radiate out. Like I've always ended up going above where you would normally go, and maybe like you said, if you just let it sit for a while, like go to the PLA temperature and let it go, maybe it'll just create a enough glass layer around the thing to kind of move itself down. But I always max it out and then wait and let it sit. Depends on how terrible your blob is though too, because like you'll still have like hardened stuff on the outside that refuses to let the innards flex. So if it's kind of wrapped up around, big mess. Yeah.
Agreed. I still think that looks like an upside down like slug or something.
It is. It's like a slug monster, like a Jabba.
Put it on the shelf and call it art. I like it.
Yeah.
3D printing's version of a piñata. Nice. So I found a couple just searching around too, and this one goes back a little bit as well. Here's another one. There we go. That came off a Creality machine. That's a rough one.
It's like those hot ends encased in carbonite.
Yeah.
Thing you should just trim that and then put it on your desktop as a piece of like a sculpture.
Right. Just cut it off and hang it.
Yeah. So all the hot ends have passed away.
Hang it. You can hang it from your rearview mirror, like dice.
People send it to us. We'll do a Christmas tree of
there you
ornaments. Ornaments, hot end failures.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people don't know that the Creality hot ends are so cheap, anyway.
Right.
That if this is the case, and it's not easy, or if it's buried in these thermistor wire, just start over with the Creality hot ends. They're cheap. They're really cheap.
Yeah.
I think they're like $10 or something.
It's like I said, it's never a bad idea to have those, because eventually at some point you're going to want to do it anyway. Now, it just depends on what your time's worth and how much you want to sit there and pick at it, or bathe in acetone or whatever other techniques, depending on what kind of filament it is.
Elijah says, wakes up, checks printer, nothing there. Oh, I must have forgot to start it. Goes to school, as well as comes home and finds this. So it's back here, right? Let's see. There we go. Oh man.
Oh wow. Yeah.
That's that one went on for a while. That's like
it sure did.
Look at all these individual coils that are just like, man.
Well, and there's been some interesting software out there to detect these, like Spaghetti Monster.
Spaghetti Monster, yeah. I think it's a
Big Spaghetti Detective or something.
Yeah, Raspberry Pi, I think. On Octoprint.
Try to get some machine learning to determine, if you have a failure in the polymer print and stuff like that. But I would much rather see this than the dreaded thermonuclear meltdown.
Yes, I agree.
It looks messy, but it's like a lot easier to just clean up, throw it away, and move on, right?
Right. Darn it, I wasted a roll of filament, but I mean, that's a $20 mistake you won't do again. Well, hopefully.
I don't know how big the print is, because that makes it look like probably a lot more filament than Spaghetti Detective, a lot more than it was, because you would have used that filament for the print anyway. So, but it just see how much is gone here in the top there, right?
So yeah, wow, and that's on a Prusa too. So
it happens to all of them. There is no. We're getting better and better, but we are not plug and play.
This one right here, this one was a while back, but I found this today is like November of 2019. Yeah,
that's a heck of a layer shift.
Yeah, that is a layer shift there. I mean,
that's an epic benchy fail right there. I like that.
Right? I'm impressed that it printed from here to here. I mean,
it's funny because like if you ever watch a failure like that, so it's like once you get out of whack, right? Once you get like some nurbing happening, or if you're over extruding to the point where you get just a little bit and then the extruder catches on it, right? And then maybe it'll skip a step and then you got a layer shift, right? And then it gets compounding error, and then it goes and again, it skips again and skips again. And so before you know it, you've just got this like continuous shift. And that's often how it begins. Now, thankfully, this one just seemed to kind of eventually recover and didn't end up in a complete, encapsulation or whatever. But
right. Well, it
doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot to jack up the print, right?
Right. Well, it's funny is both of these. I'm not sure if this one was just set here.
Right.
The top of this one shifted as well.
Are they just putting it in for reference? Because
maybe, yeah. I don't know.
I don't think that was like on the same build plate at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was just set there. But that's epic. I love this. I think that's probably one of the coolest failed benchies I've seen.
Yeah, I bet there's been a lot.
It has been a lot, yeah.
Interesting note. So this guy Tim's talking about how he's printing with a 0.8, and this is particularly a problem you have to watch for with larger nozzles, because when you have a larger nozzle, you got more oozing a lot of time because gravity works, pulls more stuff out of there, causes some errant nerves or whatever to happen, and then it hardens, and that's where your nozzle will crash and do all this stuff. So really having your retraction dialed in, and your temperatures right, especially with larger nozzles, is important. Also, your speed, because you can't dwell too long with a lot of heat and stuff, or you'll create that little melty space. There's so many variables, right? That's what makes it such a challenging process a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean, especially like you said, with the .08 nozzle, it makes it all more spectacular. Like look at the. I mean, this is just awesome. The stream,
it's like barf coming out of the wheelhouse.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nice. So Llama says, what I missed looks like a new epic fail section. Yes, called Hot Mess.
You are correct, Mr. Yama.
Well, but yeah, if you have a hot mess, or hashtag HotMakes and tell us it's a hot mess. Anything you see out there, if you have one yourself, whatever, we'll have some fun with it.
Sometimes they're more notable too. It's like, print happens the way it's supposed to. More, you're not taking pictures of it, but there's some pretty epic fails out there that we get to see pictures of, because like that's the unique thing that people want to show. Right. This was pretty wild the way this failed.
Right. Titanic benchy. That's one heck of an iceberg if this is where it hit. the whole front of the ship
just sheared the base off of it.
The whole front of the ship just went straight forward over the bottom there. That's fine. All right, but yeah, so check that out. What do we got here? Let me remove that, and it is called Hot Mess. So please tag us, hashtag HotMakes, and type in Hot Mess, or just hashtag HotMakes if you remember that, and I'll see it when we go through them. So just do not hashtag Hot Mess, because that is a hot mess. Don't do that.
It says it in the title.
And search that at your own risk. That's I can't.
Is a hot mess worse than a dumpster fire, or in the same genre?
I don't know. That's a good question.
To a pretty little dumpster fire.
Yeah. But so yeah, we'll have a lot of fun with that. I think maybe we'll come up with like a rating system or something.
Ooh,
would that be fun?
The mess rate,
yeah,
hot, yeah.
Because,
I like it. Sure.
I mean,
I love rating things.
I gotta believe people are a little less sensitive about us rating their failed prints than they are.
Is it golf scoring, or is it like higher is better failure?
Whatever we want to come up with.
Quantify the failure.
Whatever we want to come up with. Repcord sign STL, someone says. Filament Frenzy. Yeah. Repcord sign STL behind you.
Yeah, you want the STL, bro?
Yeah.
It's paid model. It's on Colts, Tom. Go get
it. Pooch sorts a mess.
This is my epic MMU print. You should see the size of the perch block. It's amazing.
I love it. I think he's joking. He's on. You said it's on. Where'd you say it was?
It's not. It's not.
Oh, he is joking. See, I caught him right there.
Me joking? What? No.
I love it. So we have a lot of hot makes today. Hey, today, if you're just joining us, we debuted something new called Hot Mess. We had some pretty fun failures so far, but we have a pooch rant, and he teased it on Twitter a little while ago. So if you didn't see that, if you want to know what it's going to be about, check it out. But
almost a double rant today. I'm not even sure where I'm going to land on this one, man. It's just crazy.
It said Repcord spelled wrong up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been spelled wrong from the beginning.
I love it. Hey, so I got an idea. So we were talking about doing an intro for the hot makes section, right?
Yes.
Because you guys used to do this on Ketchup, why don't we use this one?
I love it. I want ketchup grenades, man. Ketchup grenade.
So I was thinking about that. I was like, we already have this one. That
It's
one's
so
great.
good.
I
Yeah,
mean,
maybe just have Caleb just throw boom, HotMakes, whatever. That is a good, solid piece of video editing right there. Caleb is a wizard.
he is a wizard.
Oh, we got a chalice. Look at that.
Yeah.
So resin-delicious.
Was it Dracolic? I hope I said that right. Dracolic. Sorry. Models are posted. Let's see those prints.
It could be Dracolish.
Dracolish. I like it.
We'll just call it Dracolish because I'm pretty sure that's going to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
Probably Chelsea.
Oh, great. Now we're going to have more rants. Dracolic, someone said.
Dracolish.
We will not have cranch on HotMakes. Someone says we need cranch scale for failures. No. A cranch scale? If it's a cranch scale, it's disgusting every time.
That stuff was gross. I don't think it lasted more than a few weeks as like a promotional. Like, it's amazing to me that Heinz went to the ends that it did to like promote these things. It was like the equivalent of the Harry Potter jelly beans,
right,
for Heinz products, I guess, because it was like Cranch and what were the other ones? There was like 5 or 6 different like ketchup relish mix. And
all I can remember is people are tagging out there. Nice work, guys. All I can remember is Cranch, and I can't get that out of my. That is almost. No, that's definitely worse than speed stick guacamole.
The speed stick guacamole is not even real though. That's the thing. Like, that was funny because it's not even a thing. The Cranch was actually a thing, and it was disgusting. It tasted terrible.
It still amazes me that Travis ate it more than once.
Travis loves it. He puts it on everything.
Oh God!
He sadly ran out and couldn't get any more.
Oh, I'm throwing up in my mouth as we talk. All right. What do we got? So nice work.
Sensitive palate, don't you? You can't.
Nah, that just I don't.
Can't handle the guac speed stick.
I just don't like the texture of the guac. And then ranch. I'm not a ranch fan. But you mix ranch with ketchup, and I know McDonald's used to call that like fry sauce or something. But all of it, it just doesn't mix. Oh, I'm sorry. There we go. Mayo chew, mayo chup.
Yeah, mayo chup. Yeah, mayo chup.
Nope. Nope. All right, what else we got?
Mayo chup just happens inherently, on your burger. Your little mayo, a little ketchup, like that's fine, but I don't need it to be mixed for me. I want to control the ratios. Lots of mayo, maybe a little bit of ketchup, but usually fresh tomato. But I digress.
I'm just a picky eater. Tom Jackson, the collection.
TJ, that's why he's here. He just wants to see himself.
His collection starting to grow, but the question is, what is next? There we go. These are the MMU prints, right?
Yeah, Mr. Frenzy is probably the best MMU printer out there. Like, he has his stuff so dialed. I mean, look at that, right?
Yeah. I remember we had so far we've had the
mandrill.
Yeah, the mandrill. There we go, and the bird
kingfisher.
Yep. And
it's got like an orc there. I don't think I'd seen that one before.
I don't think so either. I don't think I've seen that either. I don't. But nice work. I mean, the contrast here, just between the hand and the book and that's phenomenal.
Right. And I like the sheen on the silver that he got there. That's part. I think that's part of why he does so well too. Is he's very good at picking his filaments, and he has quite the library.
Let's see. Zolan says, "Filament Frenzy, your prints are my goal with the palette." I think they're everybody's goal with the palette.
This should be what you're aiming for, everybody, right here.
I agree.
These are some museum grade pieces. This is things I would be very proud to display on my.
And they're not only great prints individually, but when you drop the MMU 2S into it and get that quality, it's so good. It's so good.
Well, and it's a testament to how far it's all come too. And Tom will tell you, like, I'm pretty sure he had the OG MMU as well too. And that's not without its challenges and failures and stuff too. Next, he's blushing. But I just really quick, whether it's the palette or the MMU2, like this kind of stuff really makes me happy because I think this is where we're heading or what's possible, and just adding color and sheen and texture, like what that does for the dimension when you put this in somebody's hands or somebody looks at this, that does a great service to our nice little profession, right? Getting people excited about like, oh, this isn't just like a little, Pokemon anymore. It's like this is some legit artwork, right?
Yeah, that is. It's phenomenal.
And that's just 5 colors. So on the MMU you can do 5, and then on the palette currently you can do 4.
4, right? Yeah.
So
and the thing is, I look at this and I'm like, I mean, for me, how I work is like I need this, but then I know he's probably got. I mean, just so many hours. He's in the chat. How many hours did it take you to dial it in to get to this point, Tom? Let's see.
Doesn't have another life.
It came so far and has let's see, and has so far left to go. I'm excited to see what's possible. I mean, like just the amount of time to get to this point is probably the time in which most of us quit.
Yeah,
I mean, don't you think?
A lot of tool changes in that, and I think when he was doing the stats on the mandrel, it was. I want to say he was in. Was it like in the 80 hours, like 86 hours, and some insane number of
color changes?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So
nice work. All right. Oh, I had to do this one, John.
The Marvin mashup with Angry Warcocky. I love it.
Yeah. There's so many. We're getting tagged with every Warcocky out there, and he hasn't been in the stream in a while. So I mean, like, we can't even give him a hard time about it. But
somehow,
we'll have to. Yeah, I mean, definitely have to reach out and be like, "What's going on, man?" But everybody tags everything that they make into a Warcocky, and this one was a 200 millimeter cube. And there's like one for scale. That's my favorite part. There's a little one here.
That's a big Marvin.
I love it. John Mack, you rock for this. You know what you need to do? Make this to knocker on your door.
Seriously, there's somebody it's funny because nobody would really get it unless you were into 3D printing. But like, Marvin was like the 3D print really. Marvin predates Benchy, right? Because that was in the 3D hubs world. That was like you had to show that you could print a successful Marvin as one of your criteria for like being able to run a hub. I mean, you remember 3D hubs? You came on like, okay, so people don't really do 3D hubs much anymore, but and I think it was originally a MakerBot design, right?
The Marvin, I think. I don't know the history to be honest.
Somebody in the chat tell me, but I'm pretty sure.
I don't know who made the Marv Cocky, but it's hilarious.
Marv Cocky, yeah.
Let's see. It took a while. In the picture, there is 1,500 hours of printing. That's what Tom said, by the way.
That's
in that last picture.
Yeah. Thankfully, the printer does the majority of the work, right? But that does that include, Tom, the amount of time that it took you to tune and fit? Because like you're gonna have to add a lot before you can even spit out that much success.
Right. Well, nice work, John Mack. That's awesome. Chris Russell next. I like this. Told me not to use rattle cans, and he did anyway. And I tell you what, when we look at these,
challenge accepted.
Man, look at that.
The Noir Spider-Man. Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, let's see if I can make it a little bigger, just so you can kind of get the grip. I mean, like he taped off everything by hand with blue painter's tape and a razor. He says that in the comments.
Yep.
And geez.
Yeah, he did a good job with it. I mean, it's like anything. I mean, successful painting is just prep and
patience.
Patience, lots of patience and prep and steady hand and attention to detail, right?
Everything that
things that I don't do.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Everything I don't do with painting. Holy moly. Nice work on that one, Chris Russell. Practical Printing. If you haven't seen that channel, check it out. That guy is awesome.
Yeah.
Chris
Yeah,
is
I don't know. He hasn't been doing much in the way of. Has he been doing much in the way of videos lately? I haven't seen.
I'm not sure.
He's a busy guy.
He is.
Yeah.
This is a follow-up from last week. Remember we had the hair clip in last week's show, and we asked how they did it. But she did a full Instructables on it.
Hey, cool. Thanks, Becca.
And I'm not sure if this was already in the making or she posted this June 23rd. Yeah, so she posted this more recently. And but that's awesome. She did a whole Instructables on it, how you can do it. It does attach to like these hair combs. There we go. So if you want to check that out, if you look at any of these links in the description of this video, there's a Google Doc. In that Google Doc, you'll see all the links for tonight's show, anything we showed so far, and also anything in the past. So check that out. But
I don't think I appreciated this last week, but it looks to me, because I feel like I remember looking at the one that reminded me of the peacock, but then you see that you get that curvature to it, and I guess I'll have to go look at the Instructable, but I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, so she's doing a layer change, color change on those, right? Because she doesn't mention anything about using multi-material, and then hair dryer, heat gun, right, to do the bend, right? So you lay it flat, and then you do a little post process to add the curvature to it. Very nice. There we go.
Step one, get creative.
That's an important step one. Gloss over that. Yeah.
Step two, make the base.
Tinkercad for the win.
Connect the circles. This is really good. This is awesome that she does all this. Slice and layer swaps. There it is.
Yep. So what's she slicing in there? Is that a Kira?
No, this looks like
Prusa slicer.
Prusa slicer.
She's just laying stuff over the Prusa slicer there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And
Prusa slicer does a really nice interface for layer swaps. I really like the way that
it's super easy.
Here, plus add a layer here.
In one of the videos I did, actually, that was one of the things I showed. The cool things about it is that it's super easy to do. But this is cool. Metal bowl where she gets the curve from is a metal bowl.
Cool. She's heating up and she's got her oven glove. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Attach the comb.
Very nice.
And then show off your work. Sweet. So awesome job out there, Rebecca. And let's see if we'll go back here. There we go. And great job on the Instructables as well. Let's see. I don't know if she was in here. I was just going to look.
Hey, Mike's in the house. Greetings, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Safety first. That's right. So nice job. That's awesome. I'm glad she did that because we did have people asking how did she do it. So yeah, let's follow a couple more people.
What magic is this? And now we know.
Right. This was cool.
Oh my gosh, dude. He is just knocking out like Fotis and they're just like the dynamic duo of amazing, sculptures.
Right.
So Fotis models and graphite paints and look at that. So
yeah. If I get the
did you see this week's? I don't know if we're gonna get to this week's, but from The Mandalorian.
I don't know if I saw that. I'll have to go look. Did someone tag us?
I'll tag it if nobody else did. I'm sure I'd be surprised if nobody did because it was pretty dang.
Yeah,
they all are.
The paint job. I mean, this is awesome.
Like look at that chainmail, man. Like, I mean, just stop it. Graphic, you're making us all look bad.
Look at the detail, the color. Let's see, I can do this.
It's not hard. I don't do any of that, so it make me look bad all day long. Yeah, the detail.
Awesome.
Oh, it's just so cool.
That's awesome. Nice work there. Graphite, right? That's how you say it?
That's how I say it.
Okay. We're going to pretend that's how you say it. All right.
But I also say Dracula-ish, so.
Oh, behind the scenes. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, he's got his lighting. Look at that, dude. I like it. I like a little behind the scenes.
I like it. And if I get to toss a coin for your Witcher song in my head, I'm blaming him. Let's see. I pretty much have to auto tag anything from Graphite, they say.
It's just a assumed HotMakes. HotMakes.
Dan says he's the one that tagged it. Nice work, Dan. I mean, they're just amazing.
I think he's probably talking about the
he's called Tom. Filament Frenzy said he's called Tom.
Some call him Tom.
Hey, Terry. Let's see. What do we got here? The Cave Diorama. 2 cars, 2 prints. One at 100% and the other at 50%. It's Batman. Look at that.
Okay, I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
It was pulled away so far that the bottom right one almost looked like some sort of really dark toilet. Like, I don't know, if you go back to the quad picture really quick, which might be like, look at that. That'd be a creepy toilet model.
If you're anywhere and you see that toilet, run. Just don't go near it. Turn around and run. Here, let's see if I can go back into it. There we go. So we got now you see this sits on the toilet. I mean, on the platform.
No, you can't insult the model because it's amazing when you look at it with this detail.
Right. I love the Batman. I love that car as one of my favorite Batmobiles as well.
But what good is it parking up there though? Is it a display like they do at the car dealership?
Kind of. It's at the edge of his bat cave.
Oh, he's got a little turntable for it too, right?
Yeah.
It's around it. So he just gets out there so he can survey the scene and then zips back. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Or it opens up and it's a toilet.
The back toilet.
I love it. But that was awesome. I love Batman. There's actually been some really cool Batman prints this past week, and this one was great. My girlfriend made this for me as a part of my birthday gift.
You got to make that full screen so people can see the whole thing.
There we go.
That is one of the best like homemade gifts I've seen. I was like giggling about that for days. I still am. I love it because we've all been there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It was like you're not shopping and you wonder if the 3D printer is thinking about you. Yeah. And she caught him. She caught the expression so perfectly.
Yeah.
Your question is, did Mark end up getting the loafers or not? Did he get the loafers? I don't know.
Right. Did we ask him?
Somebody should ask him. Yeah,
that's what you tag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked Mark if he got the shoes.
What is he thinking?
I love it. So this one, 3D Addict, green for the beetle here, or the bug, right?
Yeah.
It's from RC Car, it looks like. I tell you what, this came out. That's a good print there.
Wow.
I'm trying to see someone. Oh yeah, Zolan did say, is that resin? But it's got to be resin, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely.
I mean, that's there's no way that's not resin.
Big resin.
Yeah, it's awesome. Nice work there.
What's the texturing on the? Because it's not. It's almost like look at the glass. Like it looks like it's creeping, or maybe that's part of the model. I'm not sure what's going on.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
But it's not layer lines.
No, I wonder if it could be light reflection through it. Maybe you wouldn't see that normally.
Parallax.
I don't know. But nice work, 3D Addict. That was that's pretty cool. With these big resin printers, the stuff that's able to be working on now is, I mean, just awesome. What was it? Uncle Jesse just did that post with the mask, or maybe no, someone else tagged it, and Uncle Jesse commented on it. I saw it today. It was a full size Iron Man mask. I mean,
out of resin though?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was phenomenal. I mean, you still have to sand it, but there's no layer lines. You're already halfway there.
Just wet sand or something. Ooh, look at that.
Now this
mixed media. I like it. Okay.
Yeah. Fully closed 6-layer moving lenses. Still new to modifying a bit with the mechanism, but definitely a YouTube review once it's done. So let's check it out. You ready?
Looking at here, yeah. What?
Is that sick?
That's sick. I did not see this earlier. He's winking. Spider-Man winking.
That is sick. Can you hear it? I don't know if you can hear it, but it's making the coolest noise too.
That's a really interesting iris effect right there.
That's look at that. So good. So good. And Calvin's Creations.
Is it Kevin?
Kevin Creations. I'm sorry. Hong Kong cosplayer. So now I'm gonna have to go through his stuff and see what else he's got. Oh wait, it's done.
Let's see the wiki.
Oh,
let's see.
Can you hear him or no?
Very quiet.
So he says there's a sensor control mechanism. So when he blinks inside the mask, it blinks on it.
Oh, it's detecting him blinking and then blinking too?
See?
Whoa! Oh! Reaction video! Oh!
I just got goosebumps.
It's so good.
Oh my god!
It's like squinty. So it's just like, wow! Oh my god! That adds such a dimension to the whole thing, right? So it didn't go fully closed. And then does he have a Deadpool in the background there too?
That looks like it. Yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna have to look this guy up, and we'll see if there's anything else we can. I was not expecting that, obviously, and I mean, oh, it does go fully closed.
That's wild. Like the how compact the electronics has to be for that, because like look at how formed that is to his face and stuff.
Oh my god.
I need to see the deeper dive because that's a really amazing.
Let's hear it. Oh, here we go. It's a prototype. There we go. So this was a prototype. The last one we saw was done. But let's in the comments. Let us know. Do you think this is hot or not?
Oh,
I'm going with hot. I mean, the selfie game.
Why would it not be hot?
The selfie game is tight on that one. I mean,
if you say not, there's something wrong with you. Something wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, someone texted Stefan's video.
The mini wave.
This was awesome video, by the way. If you haven't seen this video, check out our friend Stefan over at CNC Kitchen on YouTube. He is phenomenal anyway, but this mini lathe video, that was cool. So I wanted to hit that quickly, but check out that video. Someone did tag, I think it was Dan. Yeah, Dan tagged us on it. Now here you go. Devin, nice work on this one. Did a little dragon.
Darby Dragon.
Another Photis Mint model, right?
That guy just, I'd love to just like, I gotta watch more, like just some time lapse or something like how much time, attention to detail or something like that is just.
Did you see the dragon in the background?
Yeah, I do.
Hey, you know what? We could probably get him on. We should get him on.
Yeah, well, there'd be a major time shift issue.
Yeah, we'll see. Geeky Faye.
Oh, she's at it again.
She's at it again. That's right. She printed her own weird vase. Took some time tweaking it, like slowing it way down. Right. It's more or less printed successfully with surprising results, being how flexible it was.
That's neat. Is it PLA or did she use PET G? That's a lot of retractions too.
Yeah, right. That's a cool vase, and with
great vase. Does she have that? Does she have that on her Patreon? Or
nice work. And last week when we showed something from her last week, and she's like, "Great, now I'm going to have to do this every week." And I was like, "Bring it."
Yeah.
So
very artistic.
The unintended flexibility did mean that the print started to fail at the very end, last 5%. She's going to make a better one, so it might not be up yet.
Well, so that and just to comment on that, like as I've had that happen on different models and stuff before too, it's like anytime you have a long unsupported column, especially one that's off, base and stuff like that.
Right.
The higher up you go, the more of that you got going on, right? And so even as that hot end is brushing over the top, laying that layer down, it doesn't take much.
Right.
Anything off, and they're like, "Oh, knock and fail" or whatever. So,
and she did say it was straight up PLA. That's why she was so surprised. It's a simple. Let's see here. It's simply the design that's leading to the flexibility.
What you might want to consider, and I know this is completely unsolicited advice by everyone who watches, but as a sacrificial layer, at the top, that's literally like a single layer that you can just literally cut with flush cutters or scissors or whatever. But that'll just add that little extra bit of rigidity at the top. So if you want to go higher, and if you wanted to keep doing that, you could, and it'd be very easy because it's only a layer thick to just with a razor knife just knock it out.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Kind of like a support halfway, or
but it's not supports. I call them.
Yeah, kind of like a cap layer.
Right. I call it sacrificial bridging is technically the term and stuff like that. But oftentimes when you're doing a model and you don't want to run supports, you can orient your model in such a way and do a sacrificial layer so that you get a complete bridge that you can actually print on. Right. So anyway, but a really cool model. I like that. I love that STL. I'd like to print that myself.
Right. And Okrumudgeon did say add a 0.3 with support structure that far up. Basically, like you're saying, basically just one ring that you can cut at the top. That's a sweet vase. I mean,
it is
another sweet vase. The vase game has been great the last couple weeks.
I love vase. Well, that's not actually vase mode vase, but it's a neat vase, if you will.
What's really cool?
A vase.
What's pretty cool is that it's flexible enough that you could open and put something inside of it.
Ooh.
So I wonder
like a marble, like a big enough ball that would expand, but it would then. That's kind of a cool idea.
Or a slightly smaller nesting vase. What if you could do vase inside a vase inside a vase inside a vase?
Exception. Right?
There you go.
I like
that. That was my free advice for Geeky Faye that probably won't use it. But I've never designed. Well, I can't say nothing because I've designed 2 things ever. So don't listen to me. But I just thought, looking at it, how cool would it be if you saw another color inside of there?
Well, that's a cool idea. Or if you did that with that vase that had the filament, the little filament inserts.
Jeez. Yeah, that'd be cool. Or Tom, Filament Frenzy, hooks this up, and every single one of those is a different color.
Sure.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
All right. Where are we going here? Oh, here's another cool one. Another Batman. This was a wall tile Batman themed E-Sun filament with E-Silk Copper, PLA white, skin black, red, and blue. Let's see.
Yeah, Ian and his Hextile, little frame projects and stuff. So good.
Yeah, here.
Look at that.
That's pretty awesome. So he kind of goes through what he did, converts it to an SVG, imports it, makes the plate.
Yeah. That'll work.
Heck yeah.
So he's doing a layer change.
Yeah, the layer change.
Yep.
It's pretty good. And it fits.
I love that sheen on that background. That's such a great tile background. What's the ultimate mount thing that he's got going for that? We'll have to find another video.
I thought I saw another. I don't know where it is. There was another part. Maybe it's at the end. Let's go back here and look. Oh yeah. See, there we go. Are you asking what the frame is?
If you haven't seen Herb Links, guys, you should definitely follow his stuff. He did a bit in his back catalog. It's probably 6 months ago now, maybe more. Tom could comment, but where he was talking about using exposed infill for background. Do you remember that? Did you ever see that?
I don't think I saw it, but
worth checking out because he kind of shows a little bit of the background there, like using that honeycomb pattern as an exposed technique for creating. I kind of do that in the rep cord there. Like you can't really see from this far away, but the 3 and D have exposed honeycomb infill. Like,
oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's a neat technique.
Nice. Well, nice work. Someone, I don't remember who tagged me, but it is great. Maybe you did.
I definitely tagged it.
Yeah, you tagged it. Okay. So here's the last one. We got to get a pooch rant in here, but
Mini Grumpy.
I'm the one who licks. Mini Grumpy by Wexter was weird painting myself. It's funny.
That's a good one. He
Yeah.
got you. He got you good. Got you good there, Grumpy.
That's pretty awesome. Painting myself at that. Yeah, it would be weird either way, but nice work on that one, Grumpy dude.
I love fun.
And yeah, that was cool. Very cool. But now it's 7:02, but that's okay.
I go right at it.
Gentlemen,
I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
it's time for some pooch rants.
I can't. See, we're gonna do enough footage here so that he's got something to go. But I get so frustrated when these things happen to me. And I have a little sketchbook now of all these things that I've encountered in my life, and some of them are 3D printed related, some of them aren't. This one is though, because we do a lot of 3D printing. So my rant for today, I teased this earlier on Twitter, but we're talking about the click wheel versus the touchscreen interface on your 3D printer. Okay, so this is a Prusa. Prusa uses the old school encoder wheel, click wheel, scrolly wheel, call it what you will. There's the old-fashioned people swear by that. Then you got newer ones. A lot of the 32-bit boards and stuff like that are moving to touchscreen interfaces. Those aren't without their failures. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rant about both because there's stuff that sucks about both of them. And then maybe I'll tell you what I think and maybe this exists out there and I don't even know about it, but I'm like, the ideal interface, right? The Alexa interface, which is print and don't fail. Alexa, print my model. Let's start with the click wheel. Okay, click wheel. Everybody knows what the click wheel is. We've seen it all the time. Your CR10s, your Enders. It's cheap. It's reliable. It's effective. But what always happens on the click wheel? You're going through. You're selecting your file from the SD card if you print it from the SD card, right? You go through and you're trying to get to the right file, and you're on there inevitably, and then you go to push it in to select, and it not just one, and it goes down and it selects the one below. And if you're lucky, you're paying attention and you notice that it did that, and you stop the print and you go back. If you're unlucky, you go off, you get a snack, you go to school if you're Elijah, whatever, you come back and it's like a completely different print that you didn't even expect because it was the one below. And I'm like, why is it that we've been around for this long? Jim, you're laughing because I know it's happened to you.
It has.
It totally happened to you because it's like, why can't we just get some encoder wheels with maybe just a little more granularity to them or something like that? Or I know the answer. It's money. It comes down to money, right? But come on, man. It's 2020 here. We don't want to have to deal with that. So pissed about that. But then you got the touchscreen, right? Let's talk about the touchscreen a second. So my Sidewinder army, they're all touchscreen based. And we think, oh, this is great. This is touchscreen. It's fancy. It's it's modern. It's awesome. But then when you want to do any kind of scale, like when I'm trying to crank up the temperature, it's like, well, I can say, okay, I can select 1, scale by 1, scale by 5, scale by 10, and then I'm going plus to get all the way up to 220. If I'm manually setting something, or if I'm trying to drive it down, or whatever. Ugh, I hate it. Right? So it's like the click wheel is way better for changing. That you say you want to move your Z up or down. You got to clear your clog or whatever. So you pause the print and you want to bring the Z up. The click wheel is pretty good for that, right? Because you just go, zzz, brings it up, right? If you're on a touch screen, tap 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 tap, right? So I've literally tapped. I get so frustrated because I'm an impatient bastard who doesn't sand. I got so tap aggressive that I actually cracked a touch screen. I kid you not. True story. And then I was even more pissed, right? And so okay, great. So what's the best of both worlds? Is it a hybrid, Jim? I don't know. I want my click wheel, but with a good encoder wheel on it, right? So much more granular control. But then I want my touch screen so I can quickly move on my menus, right? Like when I'm moving between, because your touch screen interface is good for certain UI,
right?
But not other UI, right? And so there are printers out there that I've seen, but I'm pretty sure they've been mods. Like, is anybody doing a touch screen with a click wheel out of the box? Tell us in the chat. I'll bet you it exists somewhere. I want to see more of it. End rant.
Nice work. I like it. And I 100%, I've done that when we were in the Shields Up, I did that so many times where I accidentally started something. Good thing I paid attention. I was like, oh, that's not the right one, or sometimes you go inside to eat and come back, after dinner, and you're like, why the heck am I printing a Google Home Mini mount? I didn't print this. And then you realize it's because it was right under the other one. But Big Tree Tech actually makes it's both. You can either have the touchscreen or the wheel.
Okay.
So you can actually flip back and forth through each mode. And I know a bunch of people
never at the same time.
I don't think it's at the same time. And someone could correct me.
Serial interface, right? Because I think that's oftentimes the problem. Like one of the problems with the Sidewinders is the TFT screen, the touch screen, takes up a serial connection. And so if you want to flash the firmware, you have to open it up and unplug the TFT screen, and that's common.
Right.
It's things that I'm like, okay, come on, let's get the interface right. See, not at the same time.
Not at the same time. You can flip back and forth between them, but you can't do both. That'd be an interesting. Pooch wants the same time touch and encoder. Yes, that's what he wants.
That's what he wants. It's
Yes.
not too much to ask. Is it too much to ask? I don't think it's too much to ask. I'm not an electronics designer and stuff, so I'm sure it just comes down to money. Obviously, we have touchscreen, keyboard interfaces, whatever. Like put on multiple, serial ports on the thing so that we can do such things. But
yeah, a lot of people are throwing it out in the chat. Hashtag Octoprint. So yeah, but Octoprint is awesome. I have it on almost all of these.
I'm aware of Octoprint. I have Octoprint.
Yeah, and I have it on almost all of them, and I have a couple more, getting ready to go on the ones I don't have it on. But the thing with Octoprint is once you start it on Octoprint, I think you have to do everything after that, has to go from
Octoprint. You can't pause your print on the printer. The printer has no awareness.
Right.
Of it's just reading the G code over the serial at that point, right? So,
right.
I agree. And sometimes I'm old school. Like if you have an so Octoprint is great, but if you're running a farm and stuff, and you have operators physically at the machine, so it's you just kind of have to change your user interface. So I know.
I agree. And I love Octoprint because I don't have to be in the garage, or I could be sitting here working on something and start something right behind me, right? And BS Tech says, did mosquito hot end fix heat creep issue? I don't remember what they're talking about.
I did an interview with Slice and stuff. So the short answer is it was better. It was better, but heat creep, there's a lot of factors that go into that and stuff. And so efficient cooling, and I was using the Mosquito Magnum, but I'm not going to say that it was perfect because it's not without its issues. I've had meltdowns on mosquitoes as well, but it is way more efficient in its thermals than its competitors.
The Pooch Touch 3000. I don't think we can market. I don't think we can market that. I don't think they'll.
Everybody's talking about we want to move to 32-bit boards and all this stuff, and it's I don't want to get caught up in the bit rate game when there's user interface stuff that I think would benefit the experience more.
Right.
First, right? You're going to get not always, but you're going to get marginal improvement going to 32-bit board from an 8-bit board.
Sure.
Typically, 8-bit board still does what it needs to do. But like I said, I think there's a lot more room for UI improvement, UX, user experience improvement.
The Pooch Touch Coder interface. Nice.
I'm going to yell at it too. I want to talk to my printers.
I love it. One more question for you. Are there any delays with Repbox 2 on looking to get one?
Are there any delays? We're about a week out lead time right now, but it's been shrinking as we've gotten away from PPE and back into this too. So our average has actually been 3 to 4 days.
Right. Well, and you got a sweet new shop that you're getting up together. So I mean, once that's fully operational, it'll be awesome, right?
Well, that's been the challenge. So I got the laser finally hooked up. We're cutting. We're printing. So I've got a couple of other printers. I've been building Prusa's like mad lately. So we're getting a full-blown Prusa print farm. We've also got the Ender Army, and I've got my Sidewinders, and so trying to get a good system for homogeneity is the way to go when you're running a farm, because you don't want to have to manage multiple slice profiles if you don't have to.
Pooch touch and monetize. Nice. But awesome. Well, I tell you what, we are a little bit over, but that's okay because that was a fun pooch rant. I totally agree with you. I changed my Ender 5 Plus out to an old touchscreen, or I'm sorry, an old dial, because I liked the touchscreen, but I couldn't baby step accurately. I had to, hit it 1,000 times. You had to hit the dumb button to go Z up, stuff like that. So I 100% agree with you.
So Wi-Fi. So I'd like to hear more. I have actually not had a chance to actually run a Duet as popular as they are. I'd love to hear more about that. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it has to do more with the encoder hardware that's being utilized, right? And I know that there's encoders that could be, but there's also configurations in the firmware for controlling how far a step of an encoder actually takes you on your user interface. And so sometimes that takes a little tweaking for people's personal preferences.
Right. Awesome. Well, I tell you what, we got to get going for the night, but I definitely appreciate it. I got to get back to baby duty, but I definitely appreciate everybody jumping in. And thank you guys for hanging out with us and checking out our new Hot Mess segment, Hot Mess. So have fun with that, guys. Tag hashtag HotMakes and then throw your hot messes in there. We'll have some fun with that. But thanks for another great show. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you, Pooch.
It was awesome. Always have fun with you guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Send us your hot makes, send us your hot messes, your questions.
Right.
Love it.
Love it.
Jim, happy babysitting to you. Bad baby tending.
Yeah, I'm hoping he's calmed down a little bit. Well, when I left, he was just about asleep, so I'm hoping he's still napping, to be honest. I love when he's awake. But when he naps, like at this time, he goes to bed later so much nicer. If he doesn't nap all night, it's like bad until he goes to bed,
it's easy to be the closer in the 8th and 9th inning when you're already up by 20 runs, right? So,
yeah, that's right.
Lucky you.
That's what she's probably thinking right now.
Yeah, I did all the work.
Right. Awesome, guys. Have a great night. We really appreciate it. We will see you next week, next Monday, right here on the Edge of Tech and HotMakes. Later, guys.
Good night.
And girls. Don't forget the girls. I almost forgot the girls.
Ladies. Good night.
Later, guys and gals. How about that?
Love it.
Bye, guys.